So I want to take up number 9 and the challenge question here on page 12. So number 9 here, a plane flying from Halifax to Sudbury traveled at a speed of 750 kilometers per hour for 2.5 hours. Find the distance that it traveled. So if you think back to science, have you guys seen this triangle in science class? All right, this is a really good triangle to remember. It will help you in science, it will help you in math. This is distance, speed, and time. So let's say I want to find speed. I cover that up. The formula is distance divided by time. If I want to find time, then it's distance divided by speed. If I want to find distance, it's speed times time. All right, so this is a really good formula or triangle for you to remember. So if I want to find the distance, then my formula is distance equals speed times time. All right, so 750 times 2.5. What's that? 750 times 2.5, 1875. What's my unit here? Huh? 750. Casey? Kilometers. Right, Aiden?
Yep, definitely.
Yes. All right. So Casey, how do you know it's kilometer? But which part in the question tells you that it's like kilometers, not miles, not right. Right. Okay. So the speed, you have to look at the speed unit right here. It's kilometers per hour. So you know the distance part is kilometers. Okay. Good job, Casey. Number 12, this challenge question. This was actually an old EQAO question. So if you're wondering how EQAO will look like, this is one of the questions that was on it. And sorry about the photocopying. I don't know what happened to the photocopy. I'll fix it up for next semester. Okay, so somebody lead me through this question. I know you guys did it. Aiden.
So first, I just wrote equations.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh yeah, it requires 2 drops for every 5 liters, so you divide the total liters by 5, then multiply.
Wait. Okay, so total liters. How much is the total liter? Oh,
350.
Right, so 350 liters divided by 5 liters gives you 70, okay?
And then multiplied by 2, you need 2 pills.
2 drops, yeah.
Sure. For every 5 liters.
Yep, so 140 drops.
And then you divide that by 40 because there are 40 drops in a bottle.
Okay, and then you divide that by 40 drops. And then you get the final answer?
3.5.
And what's my unit here?
Bottles per...
Not bottles.
Caps. Per 350 liter fish tank.
Right. Okay, so those of you who have a fish tank, you know that if you put too much, you'll kill the fish. If you put too little, you'll also kill the fish. Fishes. So that's why you need to do these calculations. Obviously, if they just said very simply in a unit rate, it would have been much easier. Okay. So how many of you got 3.5 caps? That's your final answer. All right, good. All right, so there you go. You have a taste of what EQAO questions look like. Okay, so today we're gonna do a quick introduction to coding. Yes, so coding. Let me fix up this title so that you guys actually know it's a coding lesson. All right. The difference between this coding lesson and a coding lesson in computer science class is computer science class, you're actually writing out the codes and you're doing it on a computer. Here, we're just telling you the the basic idea. So it's okay if your code doesn't make sense and it doesn't run. We're just learning the idea. Okay. Back in my days, did you guys know that? Okay. Okay. So, a few of the key terms to note is output. So output meaning after you write the whole code, and then the computer is gonna give you a result. Okay. We have what's called a condition. A loop. A loop is basically a repeat. So you're telling the program to keep looping until a condition is met. All right. And then what we were talking about, conditional statement. Conditional statement is the if else. So if this happened, run this program. If or else, run this part of the program. Okay. So those are the key things you need to know for today's coding lesson. Okay. So let's go over a few examples to see what it means. So okay, so if I want to compare two different numbers, which number is bigger, 17 or 23? Okay, obviously, if we just ask that based on our math knowledge, we know that 23 is greater. But the computer needs specific information, instructions to compare. So their code may look something like this. Right? So set number 1 to 17, set number 2 to 23. These ones right here, these are called your variables. So sorry, I forgot one more term. Okay. So instead of just saying like let x be 17, let y be 23, because it's a computer program, you can call it whatever you want. Okay. Kenzie, Aiden. So now we have our condition statement. If else. So if number 1 is greater than number 2, then say that this is your output. Number 1 is bigger than number 2 in the statement. Otherwise, say number 2 is bigger than number 1. So in this case, what would your output be? What would your actual output in in proper words? So in this case, what would my output be? Would it go through here or would it go through here? The first scenario or second scenario? The second one, right? Because we know that number 2 is bigger than number 1, so it will go to here. And so what would it say as your output? So if I press that F1 button, it's gonna display Lexi. Okay, but be careful because this is a variable. It will get replaced. Perfect. That's right. 23 is bigger than 17. Alright, and a period. Alright. So on the test, I will ask you for what would be the output, for example. That's a sample question. Right? So remember, your variables will get replaced through the program. Okay. So this one, let's try it. So the computer is gonna ask, what's the first number? Shanik, give me one number.
45.
45. Okay. And then the computer is gonna ask, what is the second number? Aaron, give me a second number.
23.
23. Out of all the numbers, she used the same one. Okay. And so in this case, what would my output be? Yep, 45 is bigger than 23. That's right. Okay. So that's the first type. That's your first little example of the if else statement. Now, if I put this in Scratch, ask, set, ask, like these ones, would it actually run? No, definitely not. It won't run. But again, we're just teaching the main idea. Actual code, you'll learn it in computer science class. All right. So if you're not so good with coding, don't worry. Like this has nothing to do with actual coding. All right. Calculate the average number of points scored at a volleyball game for the season. So first, the computer wants to ask how many games were played this season. We use this to determine how many times we want to loop. We want the loop to repeat. So, how many games did you guys play? Set total games. Again, this is your variable to answer. So, Fujesia, how many volleyball games did this person play? 3? Okay, sounds good. All right. So then, what's happening here? All right, what's happening here? What's the purpose of this line? Set total score equals 0. Lexi? So we have a total score variable, and you're assigning a value to it, initial value to it. Good. All right, setting up the variable. And then now I'm going to repeat for total game, which is 3 times. And then each time I'm going to ask them, what is the score? And whatever answer you put is going to be added to total score variable. So let's give it some score. So who's a volleyball player here? Anybody? Nobody's volleyball player? Okay. How many? Who knows? What's the winning? Like what? A set to win a set. How many points you need? 25. Good. Okay. So let's say first set we won. We have 25 points. Second set we lost by 2. Third set we lost horribly by 8 with scoring 8. All right. So let's say these are the 3 scores for the games. So what's happening in this loop? Trinic?
We're iterating over the total games, adding the score for each user.
Right. So you're adding the 25, adding the 23, adding the 8 to total score. Yeah. And then in general, how do you calculate the average?
Divided by the amount.
Right. Exactly. So you're setting another variable right here, and you're just doing the total score divided by total game. So total score here, 25 plus 23 plus 8, you get 56. So your computer is going to do this math for you. 56 divided by 3, right? Which is this. So what is my output? Should it?
The average score was 18.666.
Good.
Depending on how deep the calculation goes.
For a computer, it will probably be more than this 10 digit. So the total score, the average score was 18.66666, like that. Okay, and this is again your output. So on the test or on EQAO, remember, coding is on EQAO, and the type of questions are the type of questions that I'm asking you guys right now. For example, what's the purpose of this line? What is the output? What is it calculating right here? Okay, those are the type of questions you'll see on the test and on EQAO. Okay, and so that was a loop. Okay, so we did a if else, we did a repeat, and oh, okay, and then let's connect what we did on Tuesday with this example. Right, so determine the unit cost if you purchase 12 chocolate bars for 1860. So obviously we know what to do. We just divide it, but we're trying to put in a computer code so that it will do it for us. So first off, set our variable. So set total cost. to 1860. Set total units to 12. Okay, those are my variables. And so we are just setting another variable, unit cost equals total cost divided by total units. And then it will give me my output. Okay. So for today's lesson, the main takeaway is the if else and the repeat. Okay. So any questions? Okay. Yeah. So now it's your turn to try. So we have these exercise right here. Write a program to determine if two numbers are equal. So think about how to write it. It's only these six practice questions for homework today. You have like almost a whole hour, 50 minutes. You have 50 minutes to do 6 questions. Now, because I know coding might be something new to some of you, I do have answers right here. Okay, tomorrow when I do homework check, I don't want you to just draw arrows and say, this is the answer, this is the answer. Okay, I've seen that. and I don't know if I should laugh or cry. I want you guys to actually try it and then check your answer here. Okay, I gave you guys the answer because it's something new for some of you. Okay, so don't just copy the answer, but actually do it and then check. You can use the answers to guide you if you're stuck. All right, tomorrow I am going to check this package. I am going to check up to page 17. Okay,